Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games. And in today's video we're here to talk about a little bit of Blade. I talked about it in my last video, but the discourse surrounding this game, since it was announced, has been a little bit stupid. And I want to talk about that here in today's video, so let's get right into it. Alright, so unless you've been living under a rock for the past week, you are probably well aware that Arcane Leon has been working on a new Marvel Blade game. And I've already given my thoughts and my feelings on my excitement for this game, which I'm very excited. It's my favorite developer, developing a game for one of the coolest, most badass superheroes that Marvel has. I'm hyped. I'm beyond hyped. I cannot wait for this game. But like I said in my last video, it's going to be years and years and years until we see this. So I'm hyped, but I got to kind of calm myself down, just bring myself down to reality. But speaking of hype, I haven't seen enough of that online. And I'm not saying that people aren't hyped, because there are people who are genuinely hyped. They cannot wait for this game. They're very excited at the prospect of a new Blade game. We haven't had a Blade game since what, the PS2 and the original Xbox? I mean, it's been a long time. So to have a new Blade game is absolutely huge. Meanwhile, when you get on Twitter or any social media, Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, the only thing you really hear about this game is one thing, and that is it exclusive? This whole narrative surrounding the exclusivity of this particular game is exhausting. And it's becoming very cringe. I mean, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to lay out two scenarios for you, okay? And the first one we're going to start with is the scenario that I believe is most likely, which is the game is exclusive. It's Arcane. Arcane is Bethesda. Bethesda is Xbox. So we're going to start with this scenario. Now, let's discuss that in some sort of depth, right? I mean, let's say it is exclusive. Well, then that's great for Xbox, right? Because Xbox then has their own Marvel IP that they are working with that makes their platform more attractive amongst consumers. That is a great move for Xbox. That's just great business-wise for Xbox. And that is because it makes the thing that they're pushing, Xbox consoles and the Game Pass ecosystem, more attractive to consumers. I think we can all agree on that much, right? And if it is exclusive, doesn't bother me in the slightest. I will be playing it on Xbox day one, and the fact that the game is on my favorite platform only makes me more willing to go out and spend money on it on my favorite platform. I mean, a brand new Marvel's Blade game by my favorite developer of all time, I'm getting that 10 times out of 10. And that's with or without Game Pass. I'm buying that game day one. Like, it comes to Game Pass and that's great and everything, but I'm buying it day one. And since it's a Marvel game, I'm assuming there's some sort of special edition for it. I'm getting the special edition for it. It's my favorite studio. Blade is a badass character. There's no way I'm not getting the special edition for that game day one. And that was just kind of a quick little tangent, but back to the actual topic, the actual scenario of this game being exclusive. That means Xbox and PC get access to this game day one in Game Pass, or you can buy it for yourself. Whichever one works for you best, you get to choose, right? Now, that means PlayStation doesn't get the game. I'm already assuming Nintendo's not getting Marvel's Blade by Arcane. I'm just assuming. I feel like that's a safe assumption. So forget Nintendo. But PlayStation doesn't get this game, right? The question is, does that suck for PlayStation players? Sure it does. I mean, of course it does. It sucks. In an ideal world, exclusivity wouldn't exist and games could be able to be played anywhere and everywhere, whenever you want. That would be the ideal thing, but that's just not reality. That's not the reality we live in, and we probably won't ever live in that reality because it kind of destroys competition for one platform versus the other platform. And competition is what drives these companies to keep doing better to make more profits. So you're probably never going to see that. And yeah, it sucks for PlayStation players if Blade is exclusive to Xbox, but it also sucks for me and other Xbox players that Spider-Man's exclusive to PlayStation. Don't get me wrong, I bought Spider-Man 2 day one on my PS5. I beat it, I platinumed it. It's a phenomenal game. Still loved it, but it would have been pretty cool to play that on my Xbox versus my PlayStation because Xbox is my preferred platform. But let's go ahead and flip this thing on its head, right? And this is what everyone's arguing about, and I find it kind of silly, all right? Let's say the game is not exclusive. And for the record, like I said earlier, I believe the game will be exclusive. I think it's kind of a no-brainer, honestly. But just playing devil's advocate, being hypothetical here, let's say the game isn't exclusive. In this scenario, the question then becomes, well, how does that affect me as an Xbox player if this game isn't exclusive? And here's the wild part, it absolutely doesn't affect me if it's exclusive or if it's not exclusive. It has no effect on me literally at all. And this is why the whole discussion surrounding Blade has been exhausting, kind of hilarious, and also very cringe, because since this game was announced, you see a little bit of people who are excited, who want to talk about it and everything. In fact, they just released concept art for the game today, Arcane did, and it looks beautiful. Arcane's concept art, just a real quick tangent, is like probably the best concept. And I know it's just concept art. I get it. It's just concept art. But goddamn, their concept art is fucking iconic. It's like, to me, it's right up there with Bungie concept art for old Halo games. Even Destiny has some really cool concept art, and Bungie's like amazing at that. But Arcane's is just as good in my opinion. But that's besides the point. The point I'm trying to make here is that the discussion surrounding the game has been almost entirely, like 90%, surrounding the idea of, is it exclusive or is it not exclusive? And here's the thing. You shouldn't care that much. You should not care that much. It's probably not healthy to care that much. I don't know, guys. I just feel like it's kind of silly. It just doesn't matter. Unless you're someone who works for Microsoft. I mean, like, and when I say works for Microsoft, I don't mean like a low-level employee. I mean like a CEO of Microsoft. I'm talking like Satya Nadella. I'm talking Phil Spencer. I'm talking Sarah Bond. I'm talking people up there doing that kind of thing. Unless you're one of those people, whether or not this game is exclusive shouldn't matter. Or maybe you're somebody who's very, very invested in the Microsoft stocks, and you're making bank off of it. If you're one of those people, sure, I get it. I can see why you're concerned or whatever concerns you might have. I can see that, right? But just the average gamer who's going to play this game, like most people who watch this channel probably play on Xbox primarily. I'm just assuming. Most of you probably going to play it on Xbox, maybe PC. So whether or not it's on PlayStation or not doesn't affect you. You're going to play it on Xbox or PC, right? So the whole discussion is it's just kind of tiring, honestly, is all it really is. And there's actually been some developments in the discussion over the past few days because Xbox uploaded the Marvel's Blade trailer to their YouTube channel. And this was a very big deal because when the trailer dropped initially at the Game Awards, Xbox really didn't acknowledge it. And that was how this whole thing started, where it was like, okay, why isn't Xbox acknowledging this? Is it exclusive or is it not exclusive? And people were starting to get a little weary because Xbox just wouldn't acknowledge it. And finally they decided, okay, we'll acknowledge it. We put the trailer on our YouTube channel. And then everybody freaks out and it's like, okay, finally, thank you, Xbox, for acknowledging that the game exists. And I get that because it is kind of stupid when Xbox shows Marvel's Blade at the Game Awards and you can't head over to Xbox's channel to see the trailer. I mean, I get it, it's confusing. But what is interesting to note about this whole thing is that as this trailer was uploaded to Xbox's channel, there's still no trailer on PlayStation's channel. That doesn't exist. As of me recording this, there's no mention of that game being a thing from PlayStation's YouTube channel or PlayStation in general. There's just no mention of it. Which, again, just lends credence to my theory that the game is, in fact, an Xbox and PC exclusive. I think that makes the most sense. But at the end of the day, I wanted to make this video just to kind of rant, honestly. Maybe ramble a little bit. And I do apologize for that. But it's just something As someone who fucking loves what Arcane does, the style of games they make, the amount of choices that you can make, the amount of different play styles that you can have, when I see that they're taking all of that and they're putting it into a Blade game, a character as cool as Blade, I get unbelievably excited. And then when I get online and I see people, like, I understand people who might not be as excited as me. I get that. Like, not everybody is an Arcane fan. It's a pretty relatively niche developer. I get it. So I don't expect everyone to be as pumped as I am. But when you get online and the entire discourse surrounding a new fucking Blade game is it exclusive or not? It's just kind of tiring. It's kind of silly, it's kind of tiring, and it's really cringe. But guys, at the end of the day, just enjoy the games. Xbox is crushing it this year. Like, they had a phenomenal year. They're set to have a year that's just as good, if not better, next year. And then God knows what happens in 2025. I mean, you still got stuff like Perfect Dark that we haven't heard about. What's Everwild up to? Elder Scrolls 6, when, you know, like, there's so many things that we know exist but we haven't seen yet. And then on top of that, there's the stuff that we don't know about yet. And then there's third-party stuff. And then there's stuff over on PlayStation. It's a phenomenal time to be playing games. And it just seems silly that we're still arguing about this whole exclusivity thing. It just seems silly. That's all I'm saying, guys. But leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this whole subject, this whole topic of exclusivity. Do you A, believe that the game will be exclusive, Marvel's Blade we're talking about, or do you B, think it won't be exclusive? Leave that in the comments down below. And honestly, do you even care? Leave that in the comments as well. Leave a like if you like the video, and if you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing, consider ringing that notification bell, because it helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel, and it helps promote me in the algorithm, helps push the videos out to way more people, and I always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.